enjoyed your lunch. Got the insulin levels up. I'm really excited to be here. If only my grandfather can see me now up on the stage under the big top. He was president of the Circus Fans of America. Got handed to Jennifer. It's pretty neat. Also excited to be here today because I'm California's newest legal resident.
Yeah.
In fact, the moving van is in front of my house this morning, and my wife was not happy that I'm here speaking to you.
We're happy.
Anyway, we can bring up, there we go. That's great. I'm Mark Smith, and I'm one of the investment professionals in the Verizon Ventures team. And my relocation here is a very tangible sign of Verizon's commitment to innovation. And I am located in the new Palo Alto office, which they also call the Software Center of Excellence. And there are, I'm the only venture person there. We have one business development person, and all the rest of the people are either software developers, data scientists, or other types of engineers. And my contact information is available for you there. It was great to hear Roger speak before. Someday I hope that we'll meet in the marketplace. But I heard, I think it was a $13 billion figure mentioned. Our revenues last year were $116 billion. We spent 16 billion on CapEx over the last 5 years, about $80 billion, and our net cash from operations $32 billion. Anything that I do on the venture side is going to pale in comparison to those figures. And so we always keep that in mind, that to be relevant to our executives, we have to come to them with some pretty powerful ideas. The CFO is on our investment committee, and for me to get 15 minutes or 30 minutes of his time, I've got to have something important to say. Just this week there was an article in the Harvard Business Review on corporate venturing, and I recommend it to anybody that's interested in venture capital, corporate venture capital side. And it talked about successful programs and what they needed. And one of them is alignment of goals. And we feel like we've got a pretty good committee. We have strong commitment from our executive team, and we've got plenty of capital to back it up. In fact, they want us to grow that program, which we've maintained now at a nominal $25 million a year. They want to grow that up to 100. So they want us to step it up quite a bit. That will mean adding more professionals, looking at potentially larger and later stage deals, and looking into more areas. So within our innovation agenda, there are quite a few groups and initiatives. The Ventures is obviously one of them. There's another program that we'll talk about a little later called Powerful Answers that I'm responsible for. But we also have business units or companies that we've acquired that help us engage with startup companies. If I could have the next slide, please. Great. So what are we looking for at Verizon? Actually, if we had the Roger slide, that would be a great slide. I sliced and diced the last product organization announcement and came up with these. But we are talking to people throughout Verizon all the time: business development, product development, marketing, and so forth. And these are areas that we not only are seeking opportunities in, but that we're investing in. The product organization has 6 broad domains. That's why I had to write it down. Video, broadband and advanced communications, strategic solutions, which are really end-to-end solutions and targeted verticals, mobile network services and internet services, mobile device support and operating systems, and then finally, enterprise network services. If I can have the next slide, please. So this is a picture of the 40 companies that we've invested in to date, and it's $120 million in total have been placed in these companies. There's actually only 39 on here. I counted them before I came up, but I'd be troubled to find the one that's missing. Anyway, we bucket these into a couple of different groups. 6 of the 40 are in network and hardware. 13 of them are in digital marketing and commerce. 10 of them are applications and content infrastructure. And the rest are in location, connected home, and end-to-end. So it really is a pretty broad span. I would consider us to be a generalist. My colleague, Dan, is, I would say, stronger and has been the lead on a lot of the network and hardware investments. I've been the lead on more of the digital marketing and commerce, and then the rest of them, I would say, probably split pretty evenly between us. That's it for my intro.
Great. Come on down and let's have a little discussion about this. And once again, as before, I'd like to invite the audience to walk up to either of the microphones on either side and let us know you have a question, and you can do that so, if you so choose. So, you talked about a broad range of things that you're looking at. You mentioned there's a couple of people you talked to. So, if somebody wanted to approach you, how do they filter? How do they know who to approach you in Silicon Valley?
Somebody from outside the company.
Yes.
That's probably what you mean.
Yeah.
So we get approached all the time. We go to events like this. We'll meet with many companies, hear their story, and we're looking for obviously a powerful idea, something that is a little bit different, will hopefully disrupt some other type of service or something truly innovative. We are also thinking about how would our company engage with this particular startup, if that is possible. It's not always possible. As I keep referring to Scott's presentation, but we have also found that some of the companies that we thought were the best fit for Verizon didn't always make the best investment. Small companies tend to maneuver much quicker and react to the market much quicker, and we don't, and so they may necessarily need to go in a different direction than Verizon does. But we're out and listening all the time, and we get a lot of input from our business units. So if you don't see Dan or myself out and about, and you can't reach us, it is certainly, we're well known within Verizon, and you can reach out through one of our business development teams.
So if we could go back to the portfolio slide that you showed, that wide range of companies that we're on. Have you made, these are all companies you made investments in, is that correct?
That's correct.
So how would that, so obviously that's the side of the business you're coming from. Do you have a large number also of companies that you haven't made an investment in, would have also found a path to partnership within Verizon?
Absolutely. We have 2 innovation centers, one in Waltham, Massachusetts, and one on Spear Street in San Francisco. And their sole charge is to work with developing companies, I would say. If you have a device that you want to add network connectivity to, the Waltham office has been the traditional point of ingress. And we've worked with dozens of companies. You know, they have a goal of a certain number that they want to assist every year, and they've got dedicated facilities to testing, to help with network API integration, They would bring in marketing people, talk to go-to-market strategies and so forth. In San Francisco on Spear Street, that has traditionally been focused on applications. And that office actually will be reopening. They've enlarged it and expanded its capabilities early in October. And if you want to, if you're interested in getting into either one of those centers, you can go to innovation.verizon.com. You'll see exactly what those centers do and how to get in touch with them.
I've been up to the Spear Street one in its prior incarnation as an application incubator of sorts,
right,
for internalization. It's pretty interesting. Of course, you've got all the demonstrations of all these ideas you're playing with up there. So this is going to grow, and it's going to be more than just applications. What is it going to now grow to include?
Well, that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll know soon enough. I believe they will be doing, whereas it was strictly hardware and software in the two, yep, I think they'll be doing more of both in San Francisco.
And the location, the choice of San Francisco is interesting because in classic Silicon Valley maps, San Francisco was not part of Silicon Valley. And I mean, it's impossible to say this anymore because a tremendous amount of development is going up there, and there's kind of a northward migration. I think as things started becoming more youth-oriented, if you will, generalization, like Facebook and Twitter, they wanted younger employees, and to find them, you kind of need to be located in an urban setting where they can have more of their weekend and evening fun. So, in competitive bid to get to that youth energy, youth innovation, comes to locating in San Francisco more than they used to. So, what aspect, Verizon made the decision to be up there. Is that kind of the new energy you're looking for?
I think they're both great signs of our commitment to working with startup companies. I'm only beginning to appreciate the difference between the valley and the city now that I've lived here for 6 weeks. So we'll see how it works out. I mean, I think that placing the software center, which is really for internal development, yep, and then in Palo Alto was to recruit people. And when I first got there 6 weeks ago, there were probably 20 people in that office. It's now probably double
the
number of people.
You got Palo Alto and San Francisco.
Right.
And so there's so much going on here that you want to tap into both of those fairly close geography, somewhat distinct as well.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Dan a number of times. Is Dan here? Just we want to make sure we introduce everybody.
He's not here today. He is here often, as I'm here often. I would travel out quite a bit, and felt like boots on the ground was actually the way to go. It's one thing to come out 1 week a month. You do get to know a lot of people, but you don't know what you don't know until you're here.
Right. Yeah, it actually is pretty impressive how people can, by coming out once a month, can almost, to a lot of people, it looks like they're placed here permanently. Well, they continue showing up at the right places. So where do you live? Sunnyvale or Palo Alto? No, New Jersey or something like that. But you're right, the immersion is a slightly different experience as well. So you said that you work in it's called the Powerful Answers area at Verizon. So I'd never heard of this before. So what is the Verizon Powerful Answers group or area?
Glad you asked. The Powerful Answers Award is a $10 million challenge that our chairman and CEO announced at the Consumer Electronics Show in January. And I got a call at South by Southwest. And if you've ever been there on the Saturday of the Interactive, Sunday morning is not a good time to try and reach people, but I got a call on Sunday morning. And I was told that I was going to run that program. So it has been running now for several months. We're actually getting to the end of our second phase of that. We had 1,400 companies apply with ideas that use any one of our core technologies to try and bring about a positive societal change in the categories of healthcare, education, and sustainability. So we had 1,400 initial submissions. We narrowed it down to 600 that we invited into the second round, and we're having independent judges kind of work that down.
This got given to you on a hungover Sunday morning. Congratulations, we're going to give you 1,400 companies to whittle down to in the end, how many, right?
Well,
what did you do to whittle that number down? How did you do that?
So we developed criteria to judge the applications. We recruited a large group of judges and trained them to look for these criteria. And then it's been narrowed down. And we'll get to 30 finalists, 10 in each of the categories, and then we will have the final live presentations take place in the Spear Street office in Palo Alto.
So what stage are these young companies you're looking at? Are they just an idea submitted by a paper, or are they already existing companies? Like, is it one or the other, or the whole range?
It's the range. It's actually very interesting. I had the web developer. All the information was submitted via web page, and so I had them just send me the links to all the videos, which I sat down and I made a vow that if I started a video, I would watch it to its entirety. They were supposed to be no longer than 5 minutes.
I don't recommend starting Ishtar.
Yeah. So anyway, some of them were very good and very moving, and people have very sincere intentions and ideas, and they've studied the problems that they're trying to solve, and some of them are not so well thought out. Yep. But I sat through, anyone I started, I sat through. So I've actually spent several hours just watching one video after another.
Yep. So the idea is to combine Verizon network infrastructure with a societal gain of some kind, and you're looking at all applicants in a pure meritocracy. It sounds a lot like something we heard earlier in the day, but something from SMART. But it's a great way to kind of open the doors to some things you might not have seen otherwise as a company, right? Plus, there's the carrot, right?
Well, the carrot, I would say there are two broad carrots. Our company is very sincere about inspiring and funding companies that have these types of ideas. Our foundation's been doing it for years in exactly those three categories. We built a branding message around exactly that, powerful answers to solve society's big challenge. And our chairman said, you know what, we got to back it up with something big and bold at this contest, but we're going to give the money on a merit basis and no strings attached. And these are not investments. These companies do not need to work with us. We hope they will, and shame on us if we can't figure out a way to make that happen.
So we're talking about $10 million in prizes. How do you distribute those $10 million? Is it one winner gets the check, or is it going to be sliced?
No, there'll be actually 15 companies will walk away with a check. The top prize is $1 million, then it's $850, $750. It goes down, but it's 3.3 by category.
And so you said it would be announced in Spear Street. When are you going to come to the conclusion of this?
So the final live presentations are October 29th and 30th.
Coming up.
And we won't announce the winners until CES. We had a commitment that we would announce them there.
So you're giving us a website people can go to apply to work with the Waltham or the Spear Street office.
Right.
We've got your contact information. We've got this innovation program where basically anybody unfunded can submit their idea.
Right.
And what other mechanisms am I missing for innovators and entrepreneurs to connect with Verizon?
There are two other events, and I imagine that other companies have similar type of activities. We call them the Venture Forum and iDay, or Innovation Day. And our business development team, which is now under or part of our group, they're meeting with VCs, financial VCs in the Valley and in Boston and Austin and so forth. And they're looking for their best ideas. And they will bring, usually it's 6 to 8 companies in. We'll dedicate a day. We'll bring senior executives in to see that. And so it'll be a chief marketing officer, it'll be a chief product officer, network people. And so they'll get half an hour, 45 minutes to pitch their idea. And we're not necessarily looking at those to do an investment. We have done a few investments on the iDay, which are usually earlier stage companies. The Venture Day are more mature companies. And a lot of financial VCs don't necessarily, they're not looking for investment for the portfolio company, they're looking for business opportunity. So we've held those 2 to 3 times a year for 5 or 6 years.
Right? So you have a pretty wide range of mechanisms. And I think most importantly, we move to Silicon Valley. You're going to be here going forward. There'll be an ear for the local entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And it's all right, people approach you whether it's they're seeking investment or they're just seeking to engage with Verizon.
I'll always listen. I try not to be judgmental. I have learned to say no over the years.
Yeah.
And I'm actually better at saying no earlier than I was when I first started out. My background was M&A.
Yeah.
About 6 years ago, my colleague Dan asked me to come over and do